My dear students, let me welcome you first. The first class of the physics for the 11th class students. This is a great endeavor taken by the government of Odisha for your the e-learning. So, as you now enter into the branch of the science, probably you must know what are the topics you have taken in your the plus 2 stream. There are so many topics or so many branches of the science are available, but now according to your the educational policy, one can take your the arts subject with the science or the commerce with your the science, but now you are only in your the school level, therefore you have no option to choose that one, and according to your the choice, those who are interested to join in your the plus 2 science, this is your the first class for your the one of the interesting branch of the science, that is your the physics. So, today we are going to discuss the introduction about your the physics and what is the meaning of the physics, how it is related with the mathematics, and what are its the fundamental principles, and what are the fundamental forces it contains. In day to day life, where we are going with our the universe, you came to know about your the some different phenomena which are going on in this universe, starting from your the sun rising up to your the sun setting. In between this span, we are using the different phenomenon of the science. But before the 15th century, that phenomenon are not came into the human being's mind. That means the science was there, but the development of the different branches are not being taken. Therefore, we can say that the phenomena which we are knowing today, they are not your the inventions, but they are the discoveries. So, there is a dilemma between there is a dilemma in your mind that what is the difference between your the invention and the discovery. Something was going on, but the human being are quite ignore about that one. If someone has given, then that is known as the discovery. As you know that the Columbus has discovered the America, means America was there, the some concept of the America or the place of that America was there, but someone has given or someone has highlighted that one. But the invention is which is a completely new things, that is your the invention. So, in this your the physics chapter, we are going to discuss about your the what is your the physics, how it is related with the mathematics, scope and your the excitement of the physics, and physics with its the technology. These things we will discuss. So, now we are going to know what is your the physics. So, the physics is nothing but it is your the law of the nature. That means, from your the sunrise in your the morning or the sunset in the evening, heat and the light from your the burning of your the some effects, the color of the sky which it looks your the yellow orange in over the screen, and the falling of the objects, the birds flying in the sky, and the formation of the ocean waves, and the sinking of your the objects, the spherical shape of the bubbles, moon orbiting around your the earth. And except that one, as I said that from morning to evening we are making some your the games, and the games also has its the rules, and that rules are behind your the principles. Suppose someone is playing your the football, suppose someone playing your the cricket, they have their the principles, and we will come to know about in your the physics. Suppose in your the cricket, someone is throwing the ball. So, there are the different types of the throw of the ball. One is saying the fast bowler, one is saying your the medium pace bowler, and one is your the spin bowler. So, the fast bowlers, they are coming from your the large distances, but your the medium pacers are coming from your the intermediate positions. So, what is the science behind that one? We will come to know in your the different chapter, that is your the laws of the motion chapter. So, these are the things we will come to know in your the physics. So, let us now first go to know about your the physics. About your the physics. So, physics is your what? That is your the question. So, for the physics, if I write suppose I write this one, and from this figure what you understand? And these are the letters of the Greek, and these letters are your the of the 15th century, and these letters meaning is nothing but the nature, means this nature which we are looking, that nature is nothing but that is your the physics, means the physics, it is the laws and principles, laws and the principles that governs the universe. This is your the physics. It is the laws and the principles that governs your the universe. The some other definition also, it indicates or tell us why and how the things behave as they do. Go through the words. Behave as they do. That tells us why and how. Also, and it predicts the future of the thing. It predicts the future of the thing, means by using your the this law and your the principles which governs your the universe, that is your the physics. The second definition tells us why and your the how it happens. Suppose I will give you one example. Suppose this is the marker. This marker just it falls. The question is, if the marker falls, then the question is why it falls to downward, and if it falls to downward, then how it falls. How it falls means, suppose it falls from here, at what time it will touch your the ground, and what is its the speed, that to be your the calculated by using your the branch of the science, that is not your the physics. So, my dear students, see, you are in the position to think that, so if it drops, what time it will take and what is its the speed, can you determine it? Yes, you can determine. As you know, in your the class 9th or the 10th, either the Odia or your the English medium students, there are your the laws of the motion or equation of motion. Equation of motion. That equation of motion, probably you know about your the three equations. One equation is V, तुम्हें कौटी 80, S is equals to ut plus half at square, and V square is equals to u square plus 2as. These equations you know. By using that equations, you can find out that how it to be or the happens, and why it being your happens, that is your phenomenon. Not only the falling of your the this pen, the falling of the everything. So, what is the thing behind that one? And that is nothing but your the due to your the gravity. due to the gravity it falls, and how it falls, what will it have happen, and how it to be used, it is the prediction. Means what we have to predict. Suppose instead of throwing this pen here, suppose the question will come, if a ball is falling from your 200-meter height of your the building, so with what time it will touch your the ground, and what is the speed while it will touch your the ground. So how you will determine that one? So for its the determination, can you will go for your the 200-meter high, and from there you will just fall down, then what time it will take, that we will not doing, but we are using these equations, and these equations are for your the on your the surface, but for your the falling, this acceleration is taken by your the gravity. So instead of the A, we have to put there as your the G. So by using these equations, we can predict what will be its the future. So these are its the branch of these are the definitions which behind your the physics, and excluding this definition, some other definitions are also there. So what are that other definitions? And physics it is your the natural science. It is your the natural science, or physics is your the physical science, or physics is your the fundamental science. Fundamental science. So if it is the natural science, it deals with your the nature, and if it is the physical science, it deals with your the physical world, and if it is the fundamental science, it deals with your the basic things. So what are the basic things? The sound, the light, the wave, these are all your the basic things. So for its the clarification, you can go for your the, on that screen you will find that the physics, it is the study of the various physical phenomenon and the fundamental laws govern them. As I have written, it is the law and the principles that governs here the universe, and the law of the physics are not invented by the people, they are only discovered. I also explained about that one. The physics is the natural science, deals with the natural phenomenon, with your the nature. The physics is the physical science, deals with your the physical world, and the physics is also the fundamental science which deals with your the basic things of the nature. So what are that basic things? And if you know that we are quite acquainted with that one, suppose a car is on your the screen and someone is pushing it. So when someone is pushing it, means he is applying some force, and this is one type of your the basic thing of this one. Next one is the motion. One is your the running, that is your the basic thing is your the motion. Second one is your the matters. The matters are of your the 5 types, but on the screen I have only given you the 3 types: solid, liquid, and the gas, and the other 2 stages are your the plasma and the 5th state of. Next one is your the light, sound, heat, electricity, magnetism. These all are your the basic things. Therefore the natural phenomenon which is going on in this universe, that is broadly divided into your the 3 types. The natural phenomenon is of the 3 types. Natural phenomenon, that is of your the 3 types. One is your the physical, one is your the chemical, and another one is your the biological. There are the 3 natural phenomena which are going on. One is your the physical, means what is going on here the on your the physical basis, means suppose the cloud formation, that is your the physical basis, or your the formation of your the rainbows, that is your the physical basis. Next one is your the chemical, means some reactions are going on, suppose the rusting of the iron, or you will burn the wood or the paper, that will converted to the ash. That is the one type of the chemical reactions. Next one is the biological. Biological means suppose our the body system that is governed by the biological way. Suppose the blood flowing is the going on, or the lungs functions. These are all the deals with the natural phenomena. So behind these natural phenomena, the thing which is leads to the exploitations, that is nothing but the physics. So if the physics is there, then the question comes how it is related with the surrounding. So for that relation we will discuss, is the physics is associated with the time factor, or it's the mathematical branch. So how the physics is related with the mathematics. So relation of physics with mathematics. So without the mathematics, the physics is the incomplete. So the physics is incomplete. Physics is incomplete without math, or physics is the incomplete without the math. Suppose the math is not there, then the physics will never to be the happens. So we want to know how the physics is related with the mathematics. The physics is incomplete without the mathematics. Suppose some of the missions toward the moon is going on. Suppose a mission to the moon is going on, the vital role is taken by the physics. So for that one, the mathematics should be made, it's the calculations. Means through in which angle it to be the projected, what the time it to be the taken, and when the propulsion to be the happens. For these one, it requires the mathematical steps. So for that mathematical steps, the mathematics is takes its the vital role. Therefore it says that if the physics is the king of the science, then the mathematics is the queen of the science. Means the mathematics and the physics, there are the king and the queen. So if they are the king and the queen, then you will think that they are the wife and the husbands. Yes, the wife and the husbands, as they are mixing and as they are also making the quarrel, means the physics and the mathematics, they are quite associated with themselves. Whenever a physics is required, the mathematics should be there. As nowadays, the computer is taking its the vital role. If the computer will not be there, then most of the people will become the jobless. Therefore, there was a time when the computer field was quite come down to the slow. So many of the jobless being the happens. Therefore, here we can say that the physics and the mathematics, they are the correlated with themselves. And if they are correlated with themselves, so we should love with the physics, because the physics is also associated with the mathematics. If we will go for the very means the learned persons of the physics, like the Isaac Newton or the Maxwell's etc., they are the great mathematicians. So a physicist is the great mathematicians, and that physics and the mathematics, though they are correlated, therefore the physics is also known as the branch of philosophical. It is also a philosophical branch. Means one of the great philosopher of the Japan has said that if you want to know about the world, you first know about the physics. Without the physics, you cannot understand what is the world. And if the mathematics is there, therefore we will first give the importance to the physics. Means you have to love physics. Clear, my students? You have to love physics. So if you love the physics, If you love your the physics, then everything will come to your the side. Means everything means all the branches of this world being your the come to your the side. So you have to love it. Means if you love it, then everything will come to your the side. Means without giving, suppose you want to become your the chess player. Suppose you want to become a chess player. So you have to give him the interest on your the chess or on your the cricket. Suppose you want to become your the cricket player. So you have to give him your the love or the affections towards your the cricket or towards your the football. Therefore, if you want to become the know about or the your name to be the famed in this universe, you have to choose your the physics one, means you have to love your the physics first. So for that one, this whole of the physics we have to know about its the principles, means to basic principles on which your the physics is depends. Basic principles of the physics. Basic principle of physics means this physics has your the two fundamental principles. There are the two fundamental principles. Two fundamental principles. So one is called here the unification, and second one is called here the reductionism. These are the two fundamental principles of the physics. One is the unification. So what you are guessing from this word of the unification? The parent word is your the union. Union means your the collect together. So this unification, it gives or it provides the various phenomena in a specific law, or your the principle. Means the various phenomena are to be explained by using your the single law. Suppose I will give you already given one of the example. This marker, when it being your the dropped. So why it being your the dropped? We came to know that due to your the gravity. So dropping of a thing. Dropping of a thing. Suppose a thing to be the dropped, either it is your the marker, it is a paper, or it is a stone, or it is your the whatever may be. So this is due to your the gravity. The second one, the rotation of the mother and her brother, rotation of mother and his brother, mother and her brother, this is also due to your the gravity. Means the earth and your the moon. Earth is your the mother and the moon is your the uncle. So the mother and the uncle, they are rotating, that is due to your the gravity. The third one, the motion of satellite, the satellite motion. So that is also the due to the gravity. Means all these things are coming for a specific law or the principle that is due to the gravity. Therefore they to be explained in your the one phenomenon. Therefore that type of known as your the unification. Suppose second example I will provide it to you. The conservation of the energy. You know about the conservation of the energy. The energy is neither created nor destroyed, but it is only transferred from one form to the another. By that, you can write that for your the second one, the Kirchhoff's law, the Kirchhoff's second law of current. Next one is your the Lenz law of electromagnetic induction, EMI. And your the third law, suppose you will say your the Stephens. Sir, these laws are making us very boring to us. So, this is your the first class. So, I am just giving you the introductions. So, these all are also deals with your the conservation of your the energy. So, this is your the unification. So, there are the some scientists, they given that. So, if you know the name of that scientist is your the Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking, he given that the theory of everything, theory of everything, what is going on in this universe, everything to be explained by giving a single law, and that one is mostly satisfied the second law of thermodynamic. Second law of thermodynamic. By giving your the second law for the thermodynamic, everything in this universe to be your the unified to your the one branch, and that is your the unification. So, next we will discuss about its the reductionism. We are under the discussions of basic principles of the physics. The basic principles of the physics divided into the two types, unification and your the reductionism. For the unification, I have given you the two examples. So, means unification means to unified more than one phenomenon into your the one principle, that is your the unification. So, for that one, the dropping of the thing, the rotation of the earth and the moon, the motion of your the satellites, all are under your the gravitational field. And the second one is your the Kirchhoff's second law, the Lenz law, the Stephens law. These are governed with your the principle of the conservation of your the energy. And now we will go to discuss another one of the example, means the whole of the systems to be your the unified into your the one way. Suppose you will have a different branches of your the physics, the whole branch of the physics according to your the Maxwell, according to your the Maxwell's, that to be your the unified into only your the four branches. So, the Maxwell just given the complete electrostatic, Maxwell has provided four equations, These four equations are to be unified, they are the whole of the branch of the physics. Then we will discuss what are the branches of the physics. So, one is the complete electrostatic, second one is your the complete electrodynamic. So, let me explain you electrostatic. Sir, what is the meaning of electrostatic? What is the meaning of the electrodynamic? This electrostatic, it is a combination of your the two words. One is the electro, second one is the static. Electro, it derived from the word of the electron. You know there is a particle whose name was your the electron. From the word electron, this is the electron, means it is a charged particle. Second one is your the static. Static means your the rest. So, when the charges are to be your the rest, and what are going on in this universe, whole of its the phenomenon are to be explained by using only one equation of your the Maxwell. So, everything of that one, this is electrostatic you came to know in your the 12th class, and on that electrostatic, if it has your the different topics, then all the topics of that electrostatics are to be satisfied by using of your the one equation only. Next one is your the complete electrodynamic. Similarly, it is the combination of the two words. One is the electro, which come from the same word of the electron, and dynamic means motion. This static means rest, this dynamic means your the motion. So, when the electrons are motion, it confine your the current. So, due to the current, what are to be your the developed, and everything to your the satisfy one equation, and everything comes under your the one equation, that is your the Maxwell's second equation. And the third one is your the complete magnetism. Complete magnetism means regarding your the magnet at the rest, what are the branches to be your the developed, everything to be your the satisfied by your the one equation, that is your the Maxwell's third equation. And another one is your the complete electromagnetism or electrodynamic or electrodynamic. So, the whole of this universe is to be your the satisfied by your the Maxwell's four equation. These are known as the unification. The second one we will discuss, that is your the reductionism. Reductionism. Redux means reduce. Reduce means for your the total branch, it to be your the reduce, means it deals with your the study of large system, study of large system. If a large system is there, then that to be or the reduced, means to be analyzed in smaller part, and only analyze with the smaller part, it is not its the end one, and to predict the other branches, and this one is known as the reductionism. Means what it shows, for example, suppose I will give you one example of the generator. So, you heard the name of the generator, but what is the generator? You have seen that a greater shape of the generator was there, means by just giving your the wheeling of your the someone, it to be your the started, means it produces your the currents. And this generator, that is your the reductionized, means what this generator, it consists of your the magnet, it consists of your the armature. Sir, what is armature? These armatures are nothing but your the coils. And the third one is it's the slip rings. So, these are the different constituents of your the generator. So, as I said, the study of the large system, this generator is your the large system. Then it to be the analyzed in your the smaller part, its smaller parts are your the likewise. Next one, to predict the other branches. To predict for the other branches means, suppose you know the part of your the magnet. So, what this magnet And by using the magnet, if we can do your the some other parts, the armature, what is the use of the armature in that generator, and if it to be used in your the some other circuit, how it to be your the behave, and your the slip rings. Likewise, these two the branches are to be your the reduced to its the common form, that is known here the reductionism. So the two fundamental principles which we discuss, the reductionism and your the unification. So next we will go to know what are the scope of your the physics. Next comes here the scope of the physics. Scope of the physics. This is just here the introduction, means what are the physics, what are the different courses it covers, that and what are its the different advantages, and the no questions will come in your the NEET examination or the JEE examination from this chapter. But this one is your the loving one. If you love these chapters, then you will can switch over for your the any branch of that one. So the scope of the physics, this can also be you can written as your the branches of physics. Branches of your the physics. So this branch of the physics is broadly classified into your the two types. One is called your the macroscopic, and one is called here the microscopic. So what is the meaning of here the macro and here the micro? The macro means here the greater, micro means here the smaller. So the greater part or the greater shape of here the things, that is your the scope of the physics is your the macro physics, and these macro physics are also known as your the classical part. They are known as your the classical part. So the classical part means not your the likewise of the classical songs. The classical songs means your the old songs, and these are developed before 19th century. Therefore, they are your the classical one, means your the old one. But this is your the micro, or this other name is your the modern or quantum, or your the quantum, and they are your the smaller part of the objects, and they developed after 19th century. After 19th century. So though this is your the macro one, this macro to be your the subdivided into your the mostly of your the four ones. One is it's the mechanics. One is your the mechanics. One is your the thermodynamic. One is your the optics, and one is your the electromagnetism. Electromagnetism. And these mechanics and your the thermodynamics you will deal in your the 11th class. This is your the 11th class, and this optics and the electromagnetism, that is your the in the 12th class. So the syllabus not only in your the Bharat, most of it's the neighbor countries like your the Pakistan, in Nepal, in Bangladesh, they are given or they have chosen the syllabus in such a way that the whole of your the branch of the science deals with your the physics. You will know overall idea about that one, not thoroughly about that one, but the overall idea. So, these overall idea means what are deals with your the physics, these everything's are your the included. The next one is your the microscopic one, means it is the smaller one, which is your the modern or the quantum. They are your the atomic physics or your the nuclear physics or your the quantum one. So, these also these syllabus you are covered in your the 12th class. So, in the 12th class you will come to know about these three, and for your the 11th class you will come to know about your the these two, mechanics and your the thermodynamics. But what is are the mechanics, what you have to discuss in your the mechanics, and what the topics it covers, means your the laws of motion, the equation of motion, work power energy, the collision, the gravitation, next you are the properties of a matter, next you are the liquid, gases. Likewise, these are the different things you will come in your the branch of your the mechanics. For your the thermodynamics, what is your the heat, what is your the temperature, next are the second laws of the heat, next is your the heat transfer, etc. Next, for your the optics, for the optics you will come to know about your the reflection, refraction, dispersion, polarization, diffraction, and for your the electromagnetism, like your the charge, then for your the field, then with your the current, then with your the magnetism. Likewise, the different branches you will come to know further. So, these are the branches of your the physics. So, if the branches of the physics is there, then we will discuss what are its the excitements. As we came to know, there are the two branches of your the there are the scope of the physics for your the different branches, and that different branches are your the microscopic and your the microscopic. Regarding your the macroscopic, the classical, and your the thermodynamic, optics, electrodynamics, and for your the micro, that is your the atomic, nuclear, and the different branches I explained. Just for your the helpness, I am giving you the details on your the screen. So, you will find on the screen that the physics has your the two branches mostly, one is your the classical one is the modern one, and the classical one is developed before the 19th century, the modern one is your the after the 19th century, and what are the different branches I already given on the whiteboard, and you also make your the pause and then you can write it. Next one comes here the classical mechanics. What do you mean by the classical mechanics? It is the branch of the physics which deals with your the study of effect produced by a force. By using your the force, if some study to be your the concern, then that is known as your the classical physics, like your the motion of the car, or the loading on your the bridge, or the working of your the hydraulic machines as shown on your the screen. Next comes your the wave optics. Wave optics means it deals with your the that branch, and which is your the concerned with the effect produced by your the vibration or on the oscillation. Suppose on your the screen you will find that one is playing your the violin, and from the violin your the some vibrations or your the is going on. On the next one, when you will throw your the some stones on your the well, then there is your the water surface which will produce your the some oscillations. The next one is your the thermodynamics. Thermo means your the heat. You know there is a term of your the thermometer where you are measuring your the heat of your the body. Thermoflux, we are making your the water to be your the hot on that positions. So thermo, which deals with your the heat. Dynamic, as I said earlier, that is your the motion. So the heat due to your the motion, that is your the thermodynamic. And for thermodynamics, on your the screen you will find that the expansion of the mercury near the thermometer, or the working of your the engine, and the working of your the refrigerators. These are deals with your the thermodynamics. Electromagnetism, as I said, electro for your the electron means your the charge particle, and magnetism deals with your the magnet at your the rest. And the examples which you are looking on the screen, that is the working of your the speaker, and the working of the UPS in your the inverters or in the computers, and the generation of your the electricities. Next one is the optics, which deals with your the light. So with that light on your the screen, that you are seeing your the images through your the mirror, that deals with your the optics. And the color of the sky which you are observing, that is deals with your the light. And your the lenses which are using, that deals with the light. Next one is your the atomic physics, which deals with the study of your the atoms, that your the atomic physics. That examples you are seeing, that your the working of the laser and the working of the X-ray tubes. Next one is the nuclear physics, deals with the nucleus in your the nuclear reactors, in your the carbon dating, working of the radioactive substances or the machines, etc. The quantum mechanics, which is the smallest part of your the physics, that is your the smallest particles are taken into account, that is your the smartphones and the electro microscopes, and your the MRI means your the magnetic resonance imaging. That are your the different branches of the physics. Next comes your the importance of the physics. So the importance of the physics is leads to your the technology development. So the technology development and your the physics. If you want to make your the high technology products, then you have to go through your the large branch of your the physics. Means if you know about your the greater explanation of your the physics, that gives you the means the physics leads to your the technology. Physics leads to your the technology. Suppose we know that in your the physics we came to know about your the steam engine. Steam engine. This deals with your the physics, steam engine. And this steam engine, it has its the inefficiency. Inefficiency. So to clarify its the efficiency, you have to think about your the physics. Then we go for your the thermodynamic. Then we came to know about the second law of thermodynamics, and by making that second law of the thermodynamics, we developed diesel engine, and that diesel engine converted to your the electrical engine. Also your the solar engine. These are its the high technology. If the technology to be your the maintained, then you have to go through your the physics. Suppose you will come to know about your the semiconductor. Semiconductor. This semiconductor deals with your the chips, and these chips makes you the laptop, computer. This is your the desktop, this is your the laptop, and your the mobile phones, etc. So this shows that if the technology to be the high, then the physics idea should be the high. If the physics idea to be the high, it will lead for your the technology. So these technology and your the physics, they are related with your the themselves in your the parallel ways. So after that one, in your the physics, you will come to know about your the fundamental forces. that fundamental forces are of your the 4 types. One is called your the gravitational force, one is called your the weak nuclear force, one is called your the electromagnetic force, and one is your the strong force. Out of them, these 3 are mostly related with your the physics in your the day-to-day life. So, for your the gravitational force, what are its the characteristics? It leads between your the 2 masses. So, this is the one mass, this is the another mass. Between the 2 mass, there is a force of the attraction, and that force F is equals to G m1 m2 by your the r square. Means in this universe, the 2 things are attracting. Means you are also attracting me, and I also attracting towards you. And this is your the gravitational force, which is your the long range force. This is your the long range force, means the distance is the infinite. It takes or your the medium either present or absent. Next is your the weak force, that weak force between your the 2 neutrino or anti-neutrino, and this is your the short range force, never requires your the medium. Next your the electrostatic force, electromagnetic force means between your the 2 charges, and here the it is your the 2 charges. This is your the long range force, and this strong force in case of your the nucleus. And in case of the nucleus means this is the nucleus, it has your the proton proton, proton neutron, neutron proton, but the neutron has your the no charge, but they are inside your the nucleus. So, between your the 2 protons means proton proton are the positive, means there is the repulsion. So, they must come out from your the nucleus, but they are not come out from the nucleus, means God has given so much of the force to them that you have to remain inside that one. Means inside the nucleus, the force which is existing, that is your the most strongest force. That is the most strongest force of this universe. So, if we make the comparison, if this one is of the 1 part, then your the electro 1, that is the 10 to the power of minus 2, this is the 10 to the power of minus 13, and this is the 10 to the power of minus 38. Means this gravitational force is your the most of the weakest force, and this one is your the second strongest force, this is your the most strongest force, and this is your the most weakest one, nuclear force. So, with this we know about your the basic things about your the physics, and on your the next class we will discuss about the unit and the dimension. Make your the study vividly, and the come for your the next class. Thank you very much.